Hokkaido, the winter wonderland of Japan. I've always pictured Sapporo to be the epitome of Japanese winters. This trip was exactly that. White, spatial, grandeur in its design, and picturesque in all of its glory. There is always something to be found in Sapporo. Even as a resident of the great country of Japan, there's still many things to be found. Even 36 hours in Sapporo was enough to satisfy my curiosity. But even then, I was content in knowing that there's always an opportunity for more. Find out what you can do coming up on this episode.
Let's go to Sapporo. And of course, as part of our exclusive guide here in the 36-hour guide to Sapporo, we've asked all of our local friends who grew up in Sapporo and the surrounds as to where they would stay if they themselves were tourists in this city. The answer is Suzukino area. The reason why we would recommend using Suzukino as a base place to stay is because not only there is a vast variety of hotels that are available for you, but it's also the center of all the action and entertainment as well. Suzukino is relatively easy to access from Sapporo Station, only being 4 minutes away. And on top of that, it's surrounded by lots of karaoke bars, open shops, and restaurants. If you've been to Japan before, the closest equivalent to Suzukino is Shibuya in Tokyo or Namba in Osaka. Use this area as a means of great access to not only the local attractions that are in Sapporo, but also a great place to ensure that you are well entertained and well fed, especially during the night times in the winter area of Sapporo. Oh, we're just here. Oh, our place. And just like the many of you who are first comers to Sapporo, you're probably thinking of what kind of transportation system exists right in the city. And don't worry, we have it covered for this guide as well. In terms of the transportation system, buses, trains, as well as the streetcar that we're in right now do exist in Sapporo. However, for tourists, we recommend you to take the streetcar instead. Of course, the subways exist, but the problem is the subways only take you through the residential areas. The streetcar, however, is only a 55-minute loop around the city that takes you to the various touristic hotspots that you can find right within the locality of Sapporo city. Now, before coming to Sapporo, I've always had this vision of coming to the Ganso ramen Yokocho, otherwise known as the original ramen alley. I've seen this on various YouTubers and most importantly, the Sapporo official guide. It is a 42-meter alleyway featuring 17 ramen stores that serve their own take on what is Sapporo's main cultural dish or the main take on ramen. For those who are in the know, each region in Japan has their own specialty ramen. And in Sapporo's case, what they do specialize in is Miso Butter Corn Ramen. And there's a reason for that. The reason being is because Hokkaido is famous specifically for its dairy products. So anything milk, anything butter related, Hokkaido is the main spot to get those. So it's very, very interesting to see the butter being infused into the ramen dishes like we have. Now, the crew and I, we're walking the ramen Yokocho, and we're kind of spoiled for choice because there's absolutely lots and lots of ramen to take. But yeah, we decided to take the ramen shop on the second on the left-hand side. It's called Miso Tang, where it's got a fantastic number of pictures for you guys when you do pop into Sapporo.
So, I've ordered the miso corn ramen with lots and lots of corn. Lots of corn. The taste is velvety, sweet, and the sourness for the miso is very, very subtle, but adds flavor and depth to the ramen itself. Delicious, very, very delicious. Unlike Tokyo or Osaka, Hokkaido is definitely best explored by cars as most of the farms are in the outskirts of Sapporo. The closest areas to try out their fresh produce of vegetables or dairy products are that in the surrounding area of Chitose, smack bang in the middle of airport and Sapporo city. For those who do want to try out a hearty all-you-can-eat lunch restaurant, should look into Kururu no Mori as your stop. It's a place where you're able to source the vegetables direct from harvest and be able to participate in the various food-making workshops, including making your own ice cream. This came to us on the various searches for recommended food places by our local friends, and we cannot guarantee this place enough. Especially when it's snowing, you're able to eat with the majestic views of this place, and then eventually go outside and engage in snowball fights. And then after this, if you're lucky and you time your trip just right,
you might be enchanted to see this festival, which we highly recommend.
And nothing is as ever thrilling as having real snow fall as they explore the renowned Lake Shikotsu Ice Festival, which happens to run in the middle of January right to the end of February. It's an easy distance from Chitose Airport and from Sapporo, and assuming you have a car, this place is an absolute must for you to go to. Under normal circumstances, the Lake Shikotsu Ice Festival will happen between the hours of 4:30 to 10 p.m. However, if you happen to come in during COVID, the business hours are shortened from 4:30 to 8 p.m. As you can see, illuminations do happen between 4:30 to 8 p.m. and usually there are fireworks, but unfortunately because of COVID restrictions, they're not available. However, like I said before, it is a top visit place to see when you're here. Oh, we just got the streetcar. One thing to also note about streetcars is that you might have to leave the streetcar to enter the next service again to get to a particular station. So plan at your times of boarding. One of the most interesting things about Mt Moiwa, it is crowned as Japan's top 3 night viewing spots, which gives you an excellent view of Sapporo City. Also keep in mind that there are 2 cable cars that allow you access to the mountain. The first cable car will go to the middle station where you can get a view of the general surrounds of Sapporo. However, the one we're on to right now is the mini cable car, which will take you to the summit of Mt Moiwa. They can take advantage of for those Instagram pictures. Now, to keep in mind that the pass is around 1,800 yen. However, if you do get a discount pass from the streetcar, it's around 1,600 yen, which will include both access towards the main cable car as well as the mini cable car where we're on right now. And like I said before, on top of Mt Moiwa is the site of Lovers Sanctuary, otherwise known as the Lovers Lock Shrine. Obviously this bell is here to sanctify and perhaps maybe provide a unity towards any prospective couples out there. The wind chills here are absolutely insane. What you are bearing witness to right now is the Sapporo TV Tower. In fact, it is still a working TV tower which operates and gives signals off to the residents of the main TV channels of Sapporo. One of the awesome places to see right in front of Sapporo Station is in fact the Odori Park, otherwise known in Japanese as the Odori Coin. It is the site of many of Hokkaido's, or arguably Sapporo's major events from the daytime, where it includes the Sapporo Beer Festival as well as Oktoberfest, and right to the nighttime where it is the site of the well-known Sapporo Ice Festival. Over here you find the people relaxing because it is within the close proximity of the central business as well as the shopping districts in Suzukino. But during the night it has all these awesome illuminations from Christmas right through the cherry blossom season and even in autumn. If you're lucky enough to come here, that you need to check out the monthly calendar of events which you can take advantage of those great pictures as well as participate in many of Sapporo's major events that happen right here at the footsteps of this tower and of course Odori Park. And as I mentioned quite earlier on this video, Hokkaido's other special dish is of course what they call the Genghis Khan, and we are in a restaurant called Yukidaruma, which is a satellite store or a chain store that has one in Nakano. And if you haven't been to Nakano before, Hiroto has made this guide right now. Yeah, Hiroto has made this guide for concerning Nakano. Now I'm going to go a bit off topic in saying that if you're going to plan to come here in Sapporo during the winter time, please make the effort of making sure you bring the right appropriate wear. The reason being is because Sapporo's winters are absolutely relentless. Make sure you wear the appropriate wear. I mean, I came here with the mistake of wearing canvas shoes and just a thin jacket, and that alone isn't enough to be able to keep me warm from the elements. Another thing to note also about Sapporo is to have a plan B, especially when it starts snowing, because the reason being is there is a chance that the buses and trains going to Chitose Airport, which is approximately 1 hour away, may not be available, especially when the snows and the weather becomes bad. So do have a plan B in place. But other than that, like I said, enjoy your trip to Sapporo when you do come here. And thank you very much for watching and really paying attention to what we have on display in your possible next visit to Sapporo. Like I said before, we specialize in guides around the world, and I specifically present Japan. If you're interested to know what kind of things you could possibly do in Japan, please feel free to watch any of our content that's available. Anyway, thank you very much to the crew, and especially you, Say, for taking all of the beautiful B-roll pictures of what Sapporo is all about. As I said before, my name is Marvin, and well, thank you very much for watching the episode of the Global Citizenship. We'll see you later. Bye.